Well, it is a warm welcome to this evening's English audio commentary of all the action from Brazilian Serie A Saturday evening clash between Palmeiras and Cruzeiro, flying at the top of the table. Palmeiras, it has to be said, what a season they are having. At top of the table and comfortably by 4 points at the moment over second place Flamengo. At the moment, Fluminense are beating Sao Paulo 2-1, putting a bit of pressure on the top two. Flamengo do have a game in hand over Palmeiras, but they are 4 points behind, so as long as Palmeiras do their job this evening, they don't slip up, I'm sure Flamengo, though, will be hoping Cruzeiro could do them a favour this evening. Of course, both teams did play in midweek in Copa do Brasil action, so that's had a bit of an effect, you'd have to say, especially on the Palmeiras side of things. Not too much on the Cruzeiro side of things, it has to be said. They're quite happy with what they've had, and both teams were successful. Palmeiras 4-1 in midweek, whereas Cruzeiro only the 1-0. And perhaps fatigue could come into play. Not too sure, but you do never know when you do rest so many players. Maybe some come in a little bit rusty. Maybe some come in and hit the floor running, but perhaps some come in and it's just too much for them. There's not enough rest. Of course, travel is massive, as well as everyone will realise. So it should be interesting, as one team have quite clearly gone for the more let's rest a lot of players approach. The other have gone, right, well, we did well last game when we were victorious. Let's just keep that momentum up and let's keep going. So we'll have to see how it does come into it. As I said, Palmeiras 9 changes in midweek. Only Anderson and Gomez keep their places in the 11, whereas for Cruzeiro it is only 2 changes from their 1-0 win in midweek against Goiás. Kenji and Moraes drop out. Fagner and Christian come into the 11 for Arthur Jorge's side. Kick-off is just a few moments away. Once again, if you are joining, warm welcome. English audio commentary. Palmeiras hosting Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro sitting 13th on 19 points, and perhaps not disappointing, but it's so close between about 6th place to even down to 15th to 17th in the Serie A season. There's no real consistency in the middle of the table, whereas at the top, Palmeiras absolutely flying at the moment. They've only tasted 1 defeat all season, and they've been rather impressive. So the full lineups for Abel Ferreira's side: it's Carlos Miguel in goal, back four of Augustin Guiai, skipper Gustavo Gomez, Murillo and Arthur Gabriel, Marlon Freitas and Andres Pereira are the midfielders, with Ramon Sosa, John Arias and Felipe Anderson supporting Jose Lopez, who leads the line. For Arthur Jorge's side, Otavio Costa is in goal, a back four of Fagner, Fabrizio Bruno, Jonathan Jesus and Kaike, with skipper Lucas Romero and Gerson the holders in midfield, Christian Matheus Pereira and Kenny Arroyo supporting Caio Jorge, who leads the line. Referee and official for all of the action this evening is Savio Pereira Sampaio. Should be an interesting one this evening for sure. From the Allianz Parque, it is a Brazilian Serie A action. Warm welcome, as I say. Saturday night, good opportunity for both these teams, it has to be said. And we are just underway between the two sides. It will be Cruzeiro to get us underway in the usual away strip, of course, this evening. Still very heavy on the white and blue, but white jerseys, blue shorts and white socks. They're going from right to left are the visitors to get us underway. Palmeiras host in the usual green and white. Green jersey, white shorts and green socks. Poor pass picked up by Felipe Anderson on the left-hand side, poked back to Pereira. Andreas Pereira, that is. There is a few Pereiras this evening, the former Manchester United man. Back to the edge area for Felipe Anderson, tries to cut inside on his favoured right boot. Well defended by Gerson in the middle. The referee's going to give a foul, though, almost a bit of a cynical, not a pull. It's not, when I say cynical, it's not a yellow card cynical foul. But there's just a pull back there by Felipe Anderson and Lucas Romero as he was trying to pull away and bring the ball also of his own penalty area. So free kick for Cruzeiro, about 10 yards out of their own penalty box. Poor pass there from Bruno. but the referee's going to pull it back as Jorge was not impeding him, not stopping him playing the pass, but definitely was a problem for him. He's going to let Jesus come over and take it. Taking a lot longer than I think most would like for them to take this free kick. Even the referee's saying, can we hurry up? He'll go long to the left-hand side. It's brought down by Romero. Into the feet of Mateus Pereira. Lovely pass out to Fagner on the right-hand side. Can he whip a ball into the box? It's a decent delivery. Just misses the head of Jorge. Has to be dealt with at the back. Cleared away by Giai. And Romero picks it up in the left-hand side of the Cruzeiro. Lovely ball in from the full-back there. Some real whip, real pace onto it as well. Romero pokes it to the left-hand side to Arroyo. Tries to take it past his full-back. He does ever so well. Continues to drive forward. Lovely quick feet. He's forced to go back. That's a poor pass from Romero and intercepted in the middle by Andreas Pereira. Should be a throw-in for Palmeiras, but halfway into their own half. Big physical start from both these teams. Watching that back, that's lovely quick feet from Kaiki Bruno there. And ball forward, brought down nicely by Lopez, but it's intercepted. Keen to win the ball back there. With head tennis, Gersons goes up. Romero will win the second ball. Falls nicely. Here come Palmeiras. Jose Lopez goes for the shot. Gets it all run. Nice pass from Sosa to play it into him. Too much on it. John Arias as well, the former Wolves man, was involved. Just a bit of a snapshot there from Sosa. It's a good run. Gets his head up. Lopez is in the middle. Will shout to watching it back. As soon as he takes that shot, he puts his hand up in the air. So, yeah, sorry, shouldn't have done that. But I'm sure Lopez is a forward. He's thinking, oh, don't say sorry, just put the ball into the box to me next time. Poor pass out from Cruzeiro, but the do illegally win it back, says the referee Sampaio. So it will be a free kick on the right hand side. Poor pass picked up by the right back Jai. Drives forward and he's just brought down. He's asking for a yellow card. It's not a yellow card at all. It's always interesting to see different games and how different referees officiate that. A lot of times in European football, if a player said to the referee yellow card, they usually get a yellow card, whereas in South Americans it's very, very much just brought upon it. Andres Pereira, set piece delivery, swings this one and it's not a bad one. Cleared away though and falls back to Freitas. Palmeiras will continue with possession. Felipe Anderson back to Giai. Pereira picks it up. That's not a good delivery from the former Red Devil. Mateus Pereira then picks it up for Cruzeiro and he's unbundled to the ground. Runs inside a free kick halfway into his own half. Gustavo Gomez just with a late tackle there, just putting his body in the way. Mateus Pereira was too clever. He noticed it and almost went round him and then went into him. Clever from the Cruzeiro number 10. And the visitors have the ball once again. Jesus, nice pass into Romero. Back to Bruno it goes. Looking for options. Instead he's forced to go back to his goalkeeper Otavio. Sprays the ball to the right hand side. Nodded on by Gersons, but a little bit too much on it, but well played by Christian to come back and win the ball. It goes all the way back to Otavio once again, so under a bit of pressure. Sprays the ball out to the left hand side to Kaiki. Jesus then will look to lump along down the left hand side. Too much on it. Out of play for a throw-in for Palmeiras. Of course, in pictures already of Abel Ferreira, the 47-year-old Portuguese boss. He's racked up over 430 games as a Palmeiras boss, and it's just over a 5-year stint. He's had a decently successful one as well, and that time winning the Serie A twice in 23 and 22. 11-time winners. Palmeiras, and of course top of the league. It looks like they're on the way to doing it once again, it'd have to be said. Also a couple of runners up with a Copa Libertadores as well in his stint as Cruzeiro. Well, they've actually been pretty unfortunate in terms of their recent history. Of course, they went down to the Serie B for a few seasons, popped back up though in 2022 and have responded very well as a club as a whole. Gersons, poor pass, picked up in the middle. Lopez Not very smooth with the ball there, but he plays it out to Anderson. Puts back inside on his right boot. Will he go for goal? The former West Ham man, he does. Drags his strike well wide of the target. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Felipe Anderson, of course, one that many might know. I remember, of course, for his time at West Ham and Lazio. That's what rings a bell for me. It's always a real tricky winger in his day. Always impressed by the 33-year-old. What a career he's had. As I said, former Lazio impressed there. Santos Academy product. Went to West Ham for a few years and did quite well in his first season. Didn't catch on in his second, and then on to Porto, back to Lazio, back to the Stadio Olimpico. Now he's been at Palmeiras for a decent while now. 2 caps as well for Brazil. Nothing to be sniffed at getting captain for your country. So he's brought down there. He's in a little bit of pain as he's still writhing around on the floor. Punching the service. He might have picked up a bit of a knock here. Seeing pictures of the crowd. So packed out Allianz Parque. A lot of green and white. Has to be said, can be seen. The Palmeiras colours. So you're not missing anything. Sosa is still down. So I think instead of bringing any medical assistance on, the referee saying, look, can you sort it out here? Oh, the medical assistance is now coming on to the field of play. So if you are joining us, warm welcome. Just over 8 minutes into this clash. Palmeiras 0, Cruzeiro 0. Haven't really had a chance to shout about so far or really talk about. So she was caught just watching a replay back. I thought he won the ball first, Lucas Romero, but watching a replay, it is a foul. He just catch him on the inside of his back, of his right heel, if you will, does Romero on Sosa. I can imagine it's a sore one. So again, you're not missing anything, just a couple of minutes of stoppage. So it'll be a dangerous free kick opposition as well on the left-hand side for Pereira, who's had a few chances now, but I do have to say that these other ones were quite poor. Here comes the Brazilian. That's a lovely ball into the box and back into a dangerous area, and the keeper puts it wide for a corner. The shouts of offside as well. I do believe the Palmeiras man might have been offside. Watching it back, my word, yes he was. To say that it was the skipper Gomez, very much an offside position. Heads it back into a really dangerous area. It's actually off of the chest of Gerson. Lovely save from Otavio in the penalty box. Right on his line, he was forced back into, but even if it would have gone in the back of the net, nothing would have come from it, as it was an offside. Good decision from the linesman. Poor run from Gomez, watching it back as well. There's no real need for him to go as early as he did. Foul in the middle there by Freitas on Gerson. He just gets caught on his shin there, pulls his sock down, can see that there's a bit of a mark and he's trying to get some fresh air to it, so I don't think he will need any medical attention. Being helped up there by Pereira. So far in this game, we're again still just building into it. Again, both teams, if you're looking at the 11s, have gone different routes, if you will. Palmeiras with 9 changes. Only Felipe Anderson and Gustavo Gomez keep their place from the 4-1 win in midweek in the Copa do Brasil. Whereas Cruzeiro, very much opposite. They keep 9 players and make 2 changes. So you'd have to say that might be a bit of an issue, possibly. It's a new right-hand side, if you will, with Fagner and Christian coming in. Pass in the middle there by Sosa, picked up by Mateus Pereira. Ball back into the centre for Romero, driving forward to the right-hand side to the winger Christian. Cuts inside on his left boot, goes for goal, and he finds the bottom corner. What a strike from the Cruzeiro winger, one of the players to come into the lineup this evening. No one closed him down. They allowed him to cut inside on his stronger left boot. And a 25-year-old Brazilian, what a strike that is. It's his 8th goal of this season, his 6th in the league. And what a way to do it. Lovely play in the middle. Matheus Pereira forward. He was the architect of it, really. The ball just rolled into the feet of Christian on the right side. Took a lovely touch. Just get it out of his feet. He was never stretching to get the ball, if you will. Arroyo, with a nice assist to him, just puts it into a great area for him, one touch. And you see so many times when a player cuts inside, they don't take a big enough touch, or they take too big of a touch and they can't get the ball. It's such a lovely touch where it's out of his feet enough so he can get some space to drive forward and hit it. It's enough space so the defender can't reach him because he's so quick on the turn, so nimble, and his balance is absolutely fantastic. So the defender can't get there. But also he's not stretching, and the midfielder can't come over and stop it. Beautiful strike there. So if it is Palmeiras 0, Cruzeiro 1, we'll say, just going back to live pictures, the referee had a yellow card out. I'm not sure what for. So winning confirmation of that. I believe it's a yellow card for the goal scorer, possibly for his celebration. I'm really not sure. So apologies, I'm just trying to get all the facts and figures. But I do believe the goal scorer has been yellow carded. So apologies about that. Just waiting for full confirmation by the broadcasters and a bit of information elsewhere. I believe apologies, like it's Caio Jorge. Ball into the box from Palmeiras on the right hand side. Falls for Anderson on the left. And it goes out of play for a goal kick. Well, nicely for Anderson watching it back as well. Don't blame him for going for goal. So it's Caio Jorge, the forward, number 19, who's picked up the yellow card after Kenny Arroyo's beautiful left footed strike. Outside of the area, Christian drove through. Play a nice pass into him, not 0.02 of an exchange. No, not everyone's interested in that, but it's a bit of a bit of it. Arroyo, well, he gives away the ball, falls for Lopez, fizzes one into the box, no one's there. They'll fall back for the forward though. Step overs on the left hand side, loses his footing, and it trickles out of play for a goal kick for Cruzeiro. So they're the side who are really in driver's seat at the moment. It's well defended by Fagner. The first one, a free kick, did Palmeiras. Never going to get one for that. It was just well defended. In the end is all it was. So there's a goal kick for Cruzeiro. Coming into this, I've picked up some decent form, though it has to be said. Cruzeiro, no losses in their last 3, 2 wins and a draw, but only 1 loss in their last 8. 5 wins and 1 draw and 1 loss to boot as well. For on the right hand side, Palmeiras have got to get back into this game. We are still very early on, of course, just about 15 minutes over on the clock. Ball whipped in on the right hand side, well defended by Kaikit, and into the arms of Otavio, the goalkeeper, just to see it through. Sorcery is down on just outside the pitch, so the referee won't need to bring a halt to the game, I do believe, because the winger is off the field, and unless he rolls back on. I say Zeus is on the ball, and I think he's looking to the referee saying what's going to happen. I think the referee just said play on. Here's Zeus. So he's centre back partner Bruno. Well, as far as I can see, Sorcerer is still off the field of play. Whether he's receiving medical treatment or not, that's another question that I'm not sure of. Matheus Pereira, he's pulled back there by Marlon Freitas. There's a lot of finger pointing now. Andres Pereira's asking about Ramon Sosa. He puts the ball into the box. I don't know if it's just that he takes a bit of a tumble on the side of the pitch. I think maybe he's within pitch now, he's getting medical attention. I think he just goes over on maybe his ankle as well. I think maybe what Cruzeiro is saying, well, this is now the second time that He's gone down, but it looks like it is going to be his last piece of play. Sosa is off the field of play. He's been substituted, so I don't know if it's just too many knocks. I'm not too sure. But in his place comes Mauricio Prado, the 24-year-old Paraguayan. He's now on instead of Ramon Sosa. So an early change, not even 20 minutes into the game, and Palmeiras forced into a change already. Ball comes into the box from his free kick for Cruzeiro. Nodded wide by Gersons, and out for a play. A goal kick for Palmeiras. They've really got to get a foothold back into this game. At the moment, they are second best to Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro have been very good to me, and I think they've been in some fantastic form, it has to be said. Romero just waiting for the referee. He's won a free kick, so he's just waiting for the decision from the ref. Plays short into Christian, out to the right hand side to Fagner. It's a poor pass from him, picked up then by Freitas, looking for the run here of Jose Lopez. He's put too much on the pass. They'll find the hands and now the feet of Otavio in the Cruzeiro goal. To the middle. Gersons just throws aside, too strong in the middle there for Pereira. That's a poor pass though, picked up by Anderson. Here come Palmeiras. Lopez on the left hand side, can he drive in? He does well. Can he find a ball into the box? No, he can't. Well defended there, but the referee has pointed to the penalty spot. I thought that was well defended, but the referee, Xavier Pereira Sampaio, has said no. Watching it back, I thought he just got his foot to the ball. He does get his foot to the ball. The question would be, does he get the man before the ball? For me, that's excellent defending at the back there from Jonathan Jesus. Man, I never like when players put their arms up in the air after that, but he just, by his left boot, by his toe of his left boot, he does get the ball. And now the referee is calling it off, so I think the linesman has said no, it's gone out for a corner. Correctly, it should be a corner. It last came off the defenders, and now both teams are furious because Palmeiras said, well, you've given the corner, and now you've given the penalty, now you've rescinded it, and then Cruzeiro is saying, well, it's a dive, and the referee is saying, well, no, he just won the ball. It's not a dive by Jose Lopez. It's a good tackle from Oliver Jesus. He wins the ball. Is there a collision? He takes him down with this, but he wins the ball. It's a corner. In the end, the referee and the linesman came to a good decision. So a whole lot of nothing over nothing. Maybe Palmeiras just becoming a little bit frustrated with the game so far. But they've got the corner. They take it short. Bit of miscommunication, but it's swung in the end. It's a decent delivery from Arias. Edge of the area, Felipe Anderson goes for a strike at goal. And what a strike from the former Lazio man that is. Well, Kenny Arroyo scored a beautiful curling left-booted effort from the edge of the area. That will chop it. What a strike from the former Iron Felipe Anderson. That is the Palmeiras fans. They're absolutely ecstatic, rightfully so. Anderson drives over to the bench, gives his boss Abel Ferreira a hug as well. It wasn't a good ball into the box from Arias. Decent header away, I do have to say, at the back from Bruno, but it falls about 30, maybe 35 yards out from Felipe Anderson. He takes one touch. It's quite a heavy one, but the Cruzeiro defence don't get out of the penalty area quick enough. He takes a touch. He's already had one strike. I mean, he's scored some beauties over the years as a Brazilian winger, and that one is right up there. As Palmeiras are back into this, just over 21 minutes played. It's Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. Two absolute perfect strikes in this game. Found it was top corner bound and it dipped, but the goalkeeper, Tavi, had absolutely no chance of that. And I feel for both goalkeepers because they're not going to keep a clean sheet this evening, but they've been two wonderful goals that you can't do too much about. We are back underway. Long ball forward on the right-hand side looking for Arroyo. Goalkeeper Carlos Miguel, who I merely mentioned in the Palmeiras goal, has to come out and deal with that one. He boots it away for a throw-in for Cruzeiro. 10 yards shy of the corner flag on the right-hand side. Fagner will be the man for a throw-in. It will be a long one as well. An opportunity, maybe can Cruzeiro respond swiftly to being pegged back. He's into the box, nodded on. Goalkeeper comes to claim. Not confidently from Miguel there in the Palmeiras sticks. Punches it wide and puts it wide for a corner for Cruzeiro. It was flicked on by Fabrizio Bruno and then just miscommunication at the back as a whole. Murillo trying to nod it. So the goalkeeper comes out and makes a mess of it. Will be a corner. Will be an in-swinger from Mateus Pereira. Into the front post it goes. Goalkeeper has to come and claim. That's a much better punch though. Arroyo wants to go back and Fagner is the furthest one back. Goal scorer for Cruzeiro. That's a poor pass and our first time pass in the middle from Freitas to Anderson. Too much on that, and out of play for a Cruzeiro throw-in. But Pereira, Mateus Pereira, that is. Nice little reverse pass into Fagner, the fullback. He's been energetic so far. Is he brought down the fullback? Yes, he is. It'll be a free kick for Palmeiras. Well, so far, only the one yellow card in the game. That's from Caio Jorge, and that was from excessive celebrations. It wasn't from a foul or anything like that. Free kick on the right-hand side. 45 yards out from goal. Just outside the width of the penalty box on the right-hand side, further back if you will. Left foot of Mateus Pereira, the right foot of skipper Lucas Romero. Looks like it will be Pereira to take. He's been mostly on set-piece duty. It is swung into the box. It's a decent delivery. It's right into the arms of the goalkeeper, but that's one of them where I do think there's no white jersey there. If there was, it would look a lot better. Here come Palmeiras, swift counter-attack. Nice pass into Lopez. Feeds it to the left-hand side. Cuts inside. But it's well defended there. Prado hasn't been able to really get in the game since coming on for Sosa, but it was too easy to read that he wanted to cut back inside on his left boot there. That was my only issue really with that one. You know exactly what he wanted to do. Never wanted to go down the byline, and he just did it. It was too slow to take a touch inside and go for something. For example, when Arroyo, you know he wants to cut inside on his left boot, but he did it so swiftly and such a quick drop of the shoulder and movement that the defender couldn't read it, couldn't deal with it. Long ball forward from Cruzeiro, dealt with at the back by Palmeiras. That's a poor pass from Gomez. Trying to stretch there to get that was Giai. And out of play for a Cruzeiro throw. Quickly taken. Mateus Pereira goes for a strike at a goal, trying to catch them off guard. But it was a handball from the midfielder. So I think he knew that and just trying to go for goal, maybe hoping the referee didn't see that. So Palmeiras had a free kick just outside their own penalty area. Approaching half an hour in, give or take. We're about 25 minutes over. Played here at the Allianz Parque. Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1-2. Wonder strikes really, has to be said. We've not had, when we have a quick look at the stats, possession 64-36 in favour of Cruzeiro. 4 shots for Palmeiras, 2 for Cruzeiro, 1 on target apiece, and they've been the long-ranged goals as well. XG, I know not everyone's a fan of it, but it does kind of show what chances of quality you have created. 0.10 for Palmeiras, 0.94 for Cruzeiro. Both goals were 0.02, so just a piece of individual brilliance really is the reason we've had a goal in this game. There's been nothing to shout home about in terms of real chances. There's just been incredible strikes from two incredible electric wingers that have made a difference this evening. Cruzeiro with Kaiki on the left hand side. Back to Romero. The skipper just almost sits there and quarterbacks the side almost. Into Bruno. Back to Gersons. I will say Cruzeiro almost in the defensive phase, in the first phase of building up. They almost create a diamond with the two centre-backs going wide, and Gersons and Romero, one drops deep, one's a bit in front, and almost as a diamond, and that's how they build up. The full-backs get quite far forward, the wingers are told to come a bit inside, and Mateus Pereira is given the ability to go wherever he feels free to, and then Jorge's just holding up. John Arias winning the foul there. He's on corner flag on the right-hand side. Nothing of real major impact so far for the former Wolvesman. Will be the skipper Gomez to take. Looks to go long. Look for the run of Lopez. Brings it down nicely. Arias tries to win the second ball, but he can't. Loses it. But he wins it back fairly, says the referee. Then that's a poor pass from Pereira into the feet of Anderson Gersons. Lovely feet. Quick feet there. Turns his man, puts him on his backside. Here comes Cruzeiro. To the right hand side, Arroyo. This is where he scored from. Few step overs, could do with some support though. Forced to go back, and Palmeiras 2v1 win the ball. What a shock left hand side. Here comes Gabriel to his left hand side. He's got the goal scorer Anderson. Slows it down. Anderson into Andreas Pereira. Arias. Gi to Lopez. Pokes it back to John Arias. Heavy touch. And it's intercepted there by Romero. Too heavy from the former Wolvesman there. And that's going to be a foul on Keiki all day long. It's poor, really, just brings his man down for no reason, really, there. The referee, a couple of Cruzeiro players asking for a yellow card. Well, it was clumsy, I won't deny that, but have a yellow card, and Cruzeiro get his back underway. To the right hand side, Mateus Pereira dropping deep for once. Gersons tries to play it forward, well read there at the back by Murillo. Now Palmeiras have a chance to strike forward. Prado, he hasn't really been involved in play yet since coming on. He's got a nice overlapping run for his full-back. Gi ball into the box, possibly a lazy leg, I'll say, from Keiki that's stuck out there, but it actually works for him because it comes off of him and is into the arms of the goalkeeper. Guy asking for a handball. It was outside the area, so it wouldn't have been a penalty, but he thought that should have been a free kick for his side, then an opportunity to continue the attack. Instead, Cruzeiro are driving forward with Gersons. A lovely player there to bring his side further forward. Christian twisting and turning. Gersons back heel, 1-2. Lovely play this from Cruzeiro. Nice pass out to Pereira on the right hand side. He's got an overlapping fullback. He cuts inside himself, goes for goal, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. But that was a lovely sequence from Cruzeiro. Gersons brought it forward into the feet of Christian. Back heel by Gersons. Great space for Pereira on the right hand side. Lovely overlapping run from Fagner, so he was able to do something about it. Palmeiras, ball forward to Lopez, isolated up there, just no one close to him. Does well though to keep a hold of the ball. Freitas to Guy on the right hand side. Both fullbacks for both sides on right and left, really providing that width for both sides. Andreas Pereira, Guy, poor first time pass, and it's just cleared away by Jonathan Jesus. Throw in for Palmeiras. Both coaches looking a little bit agitated, is what I'd say at the moment. Back to the skipper Gomez and into the feet of Murillo. Puts his studs on the ball. Nice pass into Arias. He's continuing to drive forward. Overlapping run from Guy. Finds a ball into the box, but it's cleared away, and then Romero puts his laces through that one. Clears it away. Jorge looks to hold it up, but it's won well in the battle there by Gomez. Palmeiras just getting on top in this game in the last few moments or so. Guy, the right hand side, back to Andreas Pereira. Prado to the feet of Marlon Freitas. Murillo, the left centre back, getting forward as well now. Felipe Anderson, can they create something here? John Arias goes for a strike at goal. It's a wicked left footed effort, drags it wide though. out for a goal kick. That was a really good play there from Palmeiras. And I don't blame him for going for a strike because he took a touch on his right boot. No one closed him down at all. He gets his head up and again he apologises to his overlapping full-back in Agustin Guy there, because he could have played it into him and he could have gone for a shot himself driving into the box. Would have been quite a cute angle to go from, but he could have gone for the strike, or he could have played a ball into the box and kept the sequence going. Gersons, that's a lovely tackle from Lopez. Here come Palmeiras, ball into the box. Prado, can he keep it in play? He does. It's blocked away. No, he doesn't. Apologies. Linesman's flag goes up. The referee let the play go on for a few more seconds, but the linesman did put his flag up. He does keep it in play, actually. Watching a replay back, he does keep it in play, does the winger. And not for the first time in this game, apologies, the referee had given the goal kick and the linesman had given the corner. Very similar to the penalty that was given earlier, and the linesman put his flag up saying, no ref, it's a corner. So maybe a bit of miscommunication between the officials this evening. Outswinging corner from Andreas Pereira. It's not a good delivery. Just nodded behind for another corner, that time out of the back by Kaikit. So it will be another corner, but it will be from the other side. As I say, in this first half, Palmeiras going left to right, Cruzeiro right to left. Corner's taken quickly. Felipe Anderson, decent delivery in, but it's cleared away on as far as Guy. Prado tries to bring it down and play a ball to left-hand side. If Pereira can get there, he does, but he can't get there to keep the play alive. He only gets there to put it out for a throw-in, so it doesn't go out for a goal kick. So it'll be a throw-in. See, the rain is really starting to come down now. A lot more than what it was. It was quite light rain, I'll say earlier, but now really coming down at the Allianz Parque. Less than, well, just over really, actually, I should say. 10 minutes of this first half to go. It's been a lively one. No real big chances to hammer home about, I do have to say. But two wonder strikes. I mean, it is Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. One welcome if you're joining for the last 10 minutes or so of the first half. English audio commentary of Saturday evening action from the Brazilian Serie A. Top over the table, Palmeiras looking to continue their fantastic season. They only lost one game so far this season, and that was to Vasco da Gama. That was on the 12th of March. They've had no losses in 16. Abel Ferreira's side, 11 wins and 5 draws. Again, since we've made so many changes from the Copa do Brasil tie in midweek, which is still won in dominant fashion, 4-1. Maybe they've got a lot of backup and depth on the bench as well. So you possibly sit there and say that there's always that opportunity. Throwing on the left-hand side, Kaiki. Back to Jonathan Jesus, spreads it to Bruno with his centre-back partner room to drive forward. Does exactly that. He's got Wagner to his right-hand side. Doesn't use his flying full-back. Instead uses his skipper Lucas Romero, who goes back to the goalkeeper. To remember, as I said, there's still that quiet diamond where on the right-hand side, Fabricio Bruno drops wide to almost be a full-back. And Jonathan Jesus almost is a left-back, and then Gersons and Romero are almost centre-backs, if you will, but that's means so the midfielders can get on the ball and progress the ball further up the field of play. Christian, poor pass into the feet there of Mateus Pereira. Arms all over Lopez there by Jesus. Wasn't sublime defending is what I'll say. And he's had as Jose Lopez, a bit of an awkward first half, unfortunately, hasn't he? Done well to. He's just been frustrated every time the ball's gone up to him. He's won a good few free kicks, credit to him. It's just no one's getting up there to support him. I think it's I imagine it's been a very frustrating first half, is what I would say. Gomez to Guy on the right hand side, ball forward is deflected away off the back of Christian. Throw-in taken, John Arias. He's dispossessed, but the referee says it's gone back out for another throw-in the way of Palmeiras. Or has the linesman given a free kick? It's definitely the linesman's decision, but the linesman's flag stayed down, so I'm not quite sure. Again, there's been a bit of miscommunication for me with these officials so far. Referee's given one, the official, the linesman, or the assistant referee, whatever you may refer them to as now, he's given a few different decisions as well. Regardless, anyway, Palmeiras are back underway with the ball. Less of possession. They've had it a bit more in the last 10 or 15 minutes, but the first 25-30 minutes, Cruzeiro had 60% possession plus. Now it's more like 58-42 in favour of Cruzeiro. So they've had more of the ball, but last it's to tick over to the 30th minute. We're about to get into the 38th minute of play, if you will. It's all kicking off a little bit because Augustin Guiai booted a ball out of play at the right back and he's almost lumped it right into the dugout. He's saying sorry, but Arta Jorge is not happy at all. There was a lot of pushing and shoving. The referee's given the Cruzeiro boss a yellow card and it's all over nothing. Guiai, no need to do it. There's no need for the Cruzeiro bench to empty as it nearly, it kind of is but kind of isn't. I think they're saying that Guiai had no need to do it. I would say as soon as he does it, he does say it, but he does to me look like the kind of character that he's trying to do it to get under the skin of the players. But the Arta Jorge has got to hold his cool a little bit better. So once again, a little bit of nothing at all. I will say that, as I say, Arta Jorge has been yellow carded. I'm not sure if the official has given any other yellow cards to any other players. It will be a throw-in for Cruzeiro when we do get back underway. Also, I can totally understand the Cruzeiro frustration because Guy didn't need to do it, and then I think sometimes, if anything, when he puts the thumbs up after he's just booted a ball at you, it's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, when quite clearly he did. It wasn't like he was stretching for it. He really lumped it at him. I'm surprised the referee hasn't had a word with the Palmeiras fullback, so throwing about halfway into the Palmeiras half, actually a little bit further forward on the left-hand side. Be Christian to take. To the feet of Jorge. It's a heavy touch from the striker and out of play for a throw-in for Palmeiras, and now Guy, the man with the throw-in, is right next to the Palmeiras boss, so that's can be maybe a few interesting words have been spoken out there. The fourth official right over next to it, it has to be said. And now Guy taking a few steps back from the throw-in, taking a few extra seconds off the clock. I'm not sure why. It's one apiece here, you're not leading or anything. Ball up in the air there. Christian and Guy coming down, and free kicks being given for Palmeiras. Also just frustrations as we've gone into the last few minutes of this or so. Just boiling a little bit. I say that especially because Arroyo there, no eyes on the ball, all on the defender jumping up and shoulder into him. Was a collision between the two. You're a bit smarter there. Almost, yeah, just have a quick glance at the defender, but the rest of it, put your eyes on the ball. And just, well, yeah, collided with him, but eyes on the ball, and the free kick probably isn't given against you. That's a poor piece of play from Andres Pereira. Here come Palmeiras, driving forward with Calle Jorge. Fortunately, though, Palmeiras get bodies back for Cruzeiro, and their attack. They've still got the ball, but the counter-attack, if you will, was very much slowed down. Mateus Pereira into the edge of the area. Christian back to Gerson. Floats someone into the back sticks. Mateus Pereira's trying to bring it down. Well defended by Murillo. Will he win a corner as well? Yes, he will. And then Mateus Pereira bundles him over, and once again, a yellow card to be shown for the Cruzeiro number 10. It looks to me to be a light push from the broadcast angle view I've got, but the linesman did rush him. It is watching it back now. It is a real. But again, he said sorry to him, but he's like, well, that was no mistake. You put both hands on the back of him and pushed him. It's easily a yellow card, and I just think a lot of silly mistakes are being made by both teams at the moment. It's not any head loss, as you would say, or heads have gone. Just silly decisions. Guy booting the ball into a dugout. Pereira pushing over a player when he can't win the ball. It's like a frustration of, I can't win the ball, I'll shove you over. It's little things like that that I'd be concerned if our both bosses to get into the half-time, which was just less than 3 minutes to go, give or take. I was saying, look, keep your heads, lads. It's one apiece. It's all to really play for in the second half, and the quality on show, box to box, has been superb. But when we've got in the final third, we've created absolutely nothing. Have either side. 2 wonder strikes is where we're at. If Arroyo didn't curl a beauty into the corner and Felipe Janssen with more of his laces thunder one in to the bottom corner, well, we'd be absolutely nowhere near some goals this evening. Ball play in the middle by Cruzeiro, picked up by Freitas, out to the left hand side to Anderson. He won't get there, and it goes out of play for a throw-in, but he's pulled up. They've already had to make a change with Sosa going off, and now the goal scorer Felipe Anderson, he could have got that ball. I just don't know if he's unfortunately here pulled something, a groin or a hamstring, because he's laid down. He easily could have got the ball. It trickled out of play. Watching back here, he looks up and as he can keep it in play, he lets it trickle out and almost, again, looks like it maybe is a hamstring. Maybe it's a groin. It's definitely a muscular injury. Also, he tries to push himself a little bit further back on the field, so a player has to stop. But he's an experienced pro. He'll know when something's pulled or something's gone wrong. By the nature of him pulling up, I don't think that he's going to be able to continue, and there is now that look on the Palmeiras bench of a few players were warming up of who is it? There were 2 players called back to the dugout as Palmeiras down to 10 men, but they're coming forward down the right hand side with Lopez. Cuts back inside on his left boot. So a 1-on-1 here against Kaikit. Continues to go forward, so the cut inside, he might go for a shot, dinks one into the box looking for Prado, just too much on it. Right idea, just not the right execution, unfortunately there. Feel for Mauricio Prado, he's done himself about, I do have to say that, as a Paraguayan since coming on for Sosa, but just nothing's really fallen for him at the moment. So the substitution has been made. To me that it is Lucas Evangelista who is on for Felipe Anderson, so he's got a few minutes of this first half to get accustomed to the game, and then he will be the 31-year-old Brazilian can play in midfield, so Prado will go out to the left hand side. I'm not too sure. Have to see how it shakes up. Here come Palmeiras, Andres Pereira, 35 yards out from goal essentially. Switched out to the right hand side to Guiai. Into the substitute Evangelista. Tries to poke one forward. His first few touches on the ball, and now the plate will go. Kick for Cruzeiro. I've got to feel for Palmeiras at this point. You've made 2 out of your 5 substitutions. Your 2 starting wingers have gone down with an injury, so you're now down to 3 subs, but maybe more importantly, down to 3 subs with only 1 block you can make them in. So I won't be surprised if they even maybe made a change at half-time, maybe forced into one, so you then can make a double change, or else if in the second half you've got to make a triple change, or you lose an opportunity to substitute, which no one really wants that. But then also you've gone down with 2 injuries. Do you want to keep a sub available in case another player goes down? I'm not too sure. We've played 45 minutes of the first half, no confirmation of stoppage time just yet. It's Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1, very close to hitting the half-time mark, but here come Cruzeiro on the right-hand side. Ball fizzed into the box, cleared away by the goalie Miguel. As far as Jonathan Jesus, but he's very far up the field, it has to be said. Left-hand side, Arroyo, is he taken down there? Yes, he is, by the substitute. Lovely quick feet there, and this might be the last chance of the first half. The say, unfortunately, I haven't been given any updates on any stoppage time, but we have played 90 seconds past the 45 minutes. Having a few stoppages, obviously, for the goals and the few injuries to boot as well. I can imagine this might be the last action of the first half. Seen a few highlights on the pictures of the broadcasters that of the highlights, of course. Unfortunately, Felipe Anderson, his cracker of a goal. Well, he's off the field now, so that's another exceptional player, unfortunately, out with an injury. Palmeiras will be worried about that. Cruzeiro with the free kick on the left-hand side. Mateus Pereira with the left boot, right boot of Fagner. Will be the number 10 to swing a dangerous one in. It's headed behind by GI, but it almost just goes wide. That was very dangerous. That's actually, that's so close to going in the back of his own net. That's one of them that'll sit there and go, I know exactly what I was doing. But very close. That's confirmation, 4 minutes of stoppage time. Just to about, we're closing in on 3 minutes of it. So we're not far away from it. Ball comes into the box. It's not a great one. And it's headed away out for a throw-in for Cruzeiro. So they will keep up the momentum in the game. There's a throw-in taken quickly by Mateus Pereira, but I think the referee's brought that to a halt for some reason. So I believe it is much further back than where he took it. Seeing pictures of the fans, as usual in Brazilian games. In South America, it's always a party atmosphere almost, and two big sides colliding, no different. Throw-in taken, Romero loses it, picked up by John Arias, and it's cleared with a heavy touch, cleared away by Fagner on the right hand side, out for a throw-in on the left. So we want to take about 30 seconds left, and Palmeiras bring one more attack out of this first half and look to take the lead. Arias winning another throw-in, getting more involved. Ball fizzed into his feet on the left-hand side, so an overlapping run, puts back inside. Palmeiras continue to come forward. GI on the left. Back to Freitas. He's still on the ball, looking for options. He's forced to go back, and all eyes will be looking at the referee now. We've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time, and he will bring the first half to an end. Two wonder strikes have been the difference in this one. A real feisty, fiery affair between Palmeiras and Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro took the lead after a lovely strike from Kenny Arroyo on the right hand side. Lovely curling left-footed effort, apologies. Found the bottom corner. Well, Felipe Anderson's 20th minute strike probably outdid that from a corner, headed away by Jonathan Jesus. Heavy first touch, but my word, a thunder strike. He rifled at him on his right foot into the bottom corner. Nothing to shout home about, bar that. Got really feisty and a few yellow cards at the back end of the first half. An interesting second half ahead, but half time at the Allianz Parque with Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. Do join us shortly for the and it is a warm welcome back to the Saturday evening's English audio commentary of the Serie A clash between Palmeiras and Cruzeiro from the Allianz Parque in Brazil. It is currently Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1 after the half-time stage. Very frantic, fiery, feisty first 45 minutes. Lacked quality in the final third, it did both sides. Two wonder strikes for me were the difference maker. First coming from Kenny Arroyo just after the 10th minute mark. Lovely swift play down the right hand side, played into his feet by Christian. Took one cut inside on his favoured left boot, curled a beauty of a strike into the bottom corner. Nothing really that Carlos Miguel could do about it in the Palmeiras goal. And then less than 10 minutes later, on the stroke of the 20th minute mark, a corner was whipped in by Andres Pereira, headed far away by Jonathan Jesus. It was a lovely clearance, it has to be said, but it fell for Felipe Anderson, the former Lazio and West Ham winger. First touch was quite a heavy one, but then he absolutely rifled it in with his right boot into the bottom corner. Otavio was stranded and Palmeiras were back into it. Here come Cruzeiro, lovely ball from right to left into the feet of Christian. Ball comes in, deflected away and out for a corner for the visitors. Believe there is a possibility as well of a handball. Referee's having a quick word. VR, no, it's a corner. We'll say the rain is absolutely pouring down at the Allianz Parque, so mistakes could be made. Cruzeiro were a couple of minutes later out than Palmeiras were. They were probably about 3 or 4 minutes just sat in the rain. I'm sure they were thinking, boss, could we have stayed inside for a few minutes longer? So there will be again, mistakes with passes not hitting as they should, bobbles of the ball or anything like that. We'll take you through the full 11s just after this corner kick. Fagner, the full-back, will take it. He takes it short and it's played back to the edge of the area. Quite clearly a training ground set piece there, and the ball is whipped into the box. Too much on it, into the arms of Carlos Miguel, and the Palmeiras goal. So it is Carlos Miguel in the Palmeiras goal. A back four of Guy, Skipper Gomez, Murillo and Gabriel, with a midfield duo of Andres Pereira and Freitas. I'll bring you the rest of the 11 in a moment. Here comes Lopez, pokes it forward to the left hand side, well defended by Kaiki to get back and poke it out for a throw-in for Palmeiras. As the front four, if you will, double changes were made individually. Sosa and Felipe Anderson started the match. They're off in their places, Prado and Evangelista. There's also Arias and Lopez as a forward two, almost 4-4-2-esque for Palmeiras. For Cruzeiro is Otavio in goal. Back forward Wagner, Bruno, Jesus and Kaiki. Skipper Romero and Gerson, they're the two holders in midfield, with Christian, the goal scorer, Arroyo, and a yellow card Pereira supporting Caio Jorge, the forward, who was also on a yellow card. Right hand side, Palmeiras. Back to Guy. And as I say, box to box, some brilliant football's being played, I can't knock that. But both teams have gone into the final third, they've really lacked a lot of quality, unfortunately. It's been the only missing part. It's been feisty, some good tackles have gone in, some good pieces of play. But as I say, we really have been missing those final passes. And they've got into good position, both teams. Just not been able to take advantage at all, it has to be said. Palmeiras have it in the middle. Slip a foot there, but Gomez will get away with it, will the skipper. After Gabriel comes back and helps him out, and he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Doesn't want to mess around there, and Miguel sprays it back to the right-hand side to Guy. He tries to play it long, but it's deflected away off the back of Kaiki. Back trying to get up and support his man. The nearly mistake there, though, as I said a few seconds ago, from Gomez. And nearly a chance for Cruzeiro. Heavy touch in the middle. You can already see that the weather's having an effect in this second half. That's a nice pass. So here comes Andres Pereira. Plays it forward for Jose Lopez. Right hand side, just inside the penalty area. Falls. Arias, strike goes in. Is blocked away. Wagner will come away with the ball. And just the pitch as well is taking a real hammering in terms of how the ball is going to bobble, and you play a pass, it might fly off a silky surface. It's almost, the pitch is in immaculate condition at the Allianz Parquet. It's almost, it couldn't get caught up in the, just with how much water's there. It doesn't matter how well water the pitch is, if it's bouncing down as it is at the moment, it's going to cause problems for weights of passes and dribbles where the ball might get caught under your feet. Here come Cruzeiro, Gersons. Matheus Pereira, lovely turn there. Arroyo cuts back inside. Back to Pereira. Fizzes one into the feet of Gersons. He's coming forward. He's taken down on the edge of the area. Cruzeiro furious. They want a free kick. Palmeiras will come away with the ball. Poor pass from Murillo there. Trying to get an attack started. Cruzeiro win the ball back straight away. They are probably the more dominant possession side, and most of that first half they were better on the ball. Here they come with Matheus Pereira. Opens up, ball into the box, looking for Gersons. Instead he plays it back to Fagner. He'll whip a ball into the box. It's not a bad one. Curled away, finds Pereira in the box. Strike comes in. Gersons, his strike's blocked. Ball comes into the box. I believe there might be an offside or a foul in the build-up there. And Palmeiras will come away with the ball, I do believe. And a few times now the referees have with the, for example, the referee did give a penalty after Jesus made a great tackle against Jose Lopez. The referee pointed to the spot, and Lamb said no, it was a corner. So there has been a bit of miscommunication, I have to say, between the official and the linesman, assistant referees, whatever you like to call them, a few times this evening. So always trying to keep an eye out on that, if you will. That right, what's just because the referee's given it doesn't mean that the linesman hasn't given a different decision, or that VAR might change their minds or anything along those lines. Palmeiras have the ball back. It's long from Miguel, looking for the run of Jose Lopez. Too much on it. And back into the feet of the other goalkeeper, Otavio, for Cruzeiro. Picked up in the middle, lovely ball in behind. Oh, here come Cruzeiro, driving forward is Christian, left hand side, will he go for a shot? No, he cuts it back. Can he find the ball into the box? No, he doesn't. He plays it back to Pereira, takes a touch, strike comes in. Great save from Carlos Miguel there. Apologies, it was Kaiki, it wasn't Pereira. The strike on goal maybe could have been better from the left back. Hit it with a lot of power, but it was basically straight at the goalkeeper. As I say, maybe watching it back, he could have done a little bit better. But that was a lovely swift attack there. They just basically went in the middle. That was a lovely ball into the feet there of Christian. So a corner on the far side. Ball is whipped into the front post, nodded away by Gomez. In this second half, Palmeiras going left to right in the usual green and white. Whereas Cruzeiro, I should say, going right to left in the away strip of white and blue. This from my broadcaster's angle, of course. Ball cleared away by Palmeiras all the way back to Lucas Romero. And Cruzeiro will retain possession. Referee this evening as well is Savio Pereira Sampaio. Brazilian official Gerson, he's just taken down there, and be a pause of play there. Now here come Palmeiras down the left hand side with Andreas Pereira. Pokes it back to an overlapping fullback in Gabriel. And too much on it, and it's out of play for a goal kick for Cruzeiro. So it's just a pause and play here. Skipper Gomez, he's just getting a bit of attention to his fingers, so you're not missing anything. getting bandaged up. I'm not too sure if he's dislocated it or anything like that. So there is, just as I say, you're not missing anything. You're joining warm welcome in his English audio commentary of all the action from this Saturday evening clash in the Brazilian Serie A-Palmeiras hosting Cruzeiro. Currently one apiece between the two sides as we're just over 10 minutes into this second half. And I want to say that as well now, a picture that shows that the referee is having a bit of issue with his tech kit. So you're not missing anything. As I say, Cruzeiro did take the lead in the first half for a beautiful left-footed curling effort from Kenny Arroyo. And less than 10 minutes later, Felipe Anderson with a thunderous strike, the former Irons forward for West Ham, and of course spent a lot of time in Italy with Lazio. He made it one apiece, but unfortunately he went off with what looks to be maybe a hamstring injury along those lines. Best wishes out for the Brazilian winger. Also as well, Sosa went off very early on for Palmeiras. Looks to be just watching it back for Gustavo Gomes. When driving forward was Christian for the Kaikit striker goal, he slides in to make a block and his hand looks like not gets caught in the turf, but just like as he puts a bit of weight on it, he might just dislocate it or something along those lines. So it's something he can continue. I'm sure it's the skipper of Palmeiras. He'll want to continue, of course. Back underway, Cruzeiro played out from the back. That's poor. Andres Pereira on the edge of the area, driving forward. Well defended by Jesus and Bruno at the back. And now here come Cruzeiro on the right-hand side with Lucas Romero. Thinking of another South American individual there. 1-2. Mateus Pereira is driving forward. Lovely few first touches. Here come Cruzeiro. Pokes it into the box. Deflected away at the back by Guy. Picked up by Evangelista. Looks like he's playing a bit deeper with Freitas, and Arias is on the right, Prado on the left with Andres Pereira just in behind Jose Lopez. 4-2-3-1. Prado back to Evangelista, 31-year-old midfielder. Couple of 1-2s back to find Pereira. After Gabriel on the left-hand side into Pereira. What can he find? What can he muster? A couple of 1-2s. Still on the edge of the area. Packed out penalty box, headed on. Chance! Just goes wide. Unfortunately, just never really fell kindly there for Arthur Gabriel. Great position. Ball just floated forward, headed on by Prado. It's on the volley. It's an awkward strike. It's coming out of the air. I'm not trying to sit here and say he should have scored at all. He hits it though, but he just doesn't hit it sweetly. Hits it, gets over it, drags it wide, and it bobbles wide at the same time. It's out for a Cruzeiro goal kick. Ball for Mateus Pereira, tries to bring it down. Last off of him, yes it is, so Palmeiras will get a throw just inside the Cruzeiro half, inside the left hand side. Looking ever look at the table. After a few games that were on today, as Cruzeiro do just have the ball. A few results from yesterday, a couple of hours ago if you will. Fluminense beat Sao Paulo 2-1, which is a big result in terms of the top four. As Fluminense are third, 5 points with this live point. Palmeiras are getting off of them. Level on points with Flamengo, but now there's a 6 point gap between third place Fluminense and Sao Paulo, which could be really big at this time of the season. Andres Pereira goes for a strike outside the area. Guy is down, so we might have another pause in play. Pereira's strike. I think they're asking for a possible handball. I don't believe it was in the penalty area, I must say. Just waiting on that decision from the referee. Pereira, we do know the former Red Devil does love a strike from goal. Corner has been given into the box. Opportunity. Gomez with another head kick is saved. What an effort there. What a save by Otavio there. My word. It was a melee in the box. They just couldn't clear the lines, Cruzeiro. It's not it back for Gomez. And it's an acrobatic finish. Oh, it's a great reflex save on his right hand by Otavio there. Credit to the centre-back. He puts it, the goalkeeper's going to his left, he puts it to his right. It's a fingertip save from the Cruzeiro goalie. What a save that was, and I have to say that's maybe even the biggest one-on-one chance in the game, it has to be said. From that second corner, it's easily dealt with by Cruzeiro, but what a chance this was. Gomez, as I said, just what an acrobatic, just trying to get anything on it, and it gets a decent effort on it as well. Maybe it just doesn't get all the power, gets quite a lot of, it gets the execution right, but perhaps the power could have been more. Here come Cruzeiro, this game on the hour mark really opening up here. Down the left hand side, Christian is brought down there. Palmeiras not happy at all. Murillo says, I've won the ball, whereas the Cruzeiro man down on his haunches. Kyle Jorge. So there's a big opportunity here, just over, as I said, an hour played. .62 minutes on the clock, about to take over into the 63rd minute mark. So the referee's had his hands full with some of these players this evening. So it's a free kick opportunity for Cruzeiro. Fagner with the right boot and Mateus Pereira with the left boot on the left hand side. It'll be Mateus Pereira, delivery in, heads go up, it's going to go wide. It looks to be last off of Jonathan Jesus there. So a goal kick for Palmeiras. Of course, as well, usually at this time of the game, maybe teams thinking of substitutions and looking at the bench of what they can use. Well, Palmeiras have already been forced into 2 changes and 2 blocks have been made, so the next change they make, if they want to make full advantage of the 5 subs you have, they're going to have to make 3 in 1, which could be awkward for the hosts, although they did make 9 changes coming into this game, so perhaps Abel Ferreira's thinking, right, my players are more than fresh enough to continue doing what we're doing. Too much on that, but it's cleared away by Arias. Cruzeiro keep it with Gersons on the left hand side. Still with the Brazilian midfielder. Flicks it off of Guy, so quick throw in now for Cruzeiro. It's taken quickly as well. To Fagner. Arroyo, oh, lovely quick feet there, takes away from his man. Right hand side, driving into the penalty box, ball into the box, it's deflected away, and then Evangelista clears it away, and it falls for Lopez, but well defended by Jonathan Jesus. One in the middle though, once again by Evangelista, not the greatest of passes in the middle. Again, it's really frantic in the middle. I was saying that in the first half the box-to-box play was really good. It was the final delivery. In the second half, it's just been really awkward in the middle. No one can really get the foot on the ball. No one's controlling it. Taking a look at the second half stats alone, in terms of compared to the game as a whole, of course, that massive chance from Gomez in terms of XG. It's been 4 shots apiece. Only 1 on target though. Looking at possession, 52 to 48. A couple of corner kicks, but As I say, that Gomez effort is a real standout for an XG, if you will, and a big chance. And it was a big chance. There was also an acrobatic overhead kick, if you will, from a centre-back. So when it's written like that, it sounds a little bit different, doesn't it, than what the chance was. Cruzeiro, Gersons will bring it away. Nice ball out to the right-hand side. To Fagner. Arroyo back to his full-back once again. And Cruzeiro, they were quite the opposite. Palmeiras, they made 9 changes, while Cruzeiro, they kept 9 players. So they only made 2 changes. Palmeiras kept 2 players in the 11. So maybe Cruzeiro more looking at their bench. Yet to make a change are the visitors. Balsarfa Jorge is quite happy with what he's seen. Quickly taken as his free kick, ball over the top looking for Christian. Back to Arroyo. Goal scoring. As I said, basically for me this match it's been a great watch, but in terms of the goals, it's been individual brilliance for both of them, and with the strikes outside the area. Kaiko into the feet of Christian Gerson. Strong midfielder is he brought down there. No, he isn't. Good tackle, says the referee. Here come Palmeiras on a possible counter. Lopez is brought down on the right hand side there, and is it going to be a yellow card? I don't think the referee is going to get it out. Palmeiras players, as per usual, asking for it. In terms of yellow cards, Palmeiras yet to pick one up. Jorge and Pereira for Cruzeiro are in the book, along with their boss as well, after Jorge. So 2 yellow cards in the game, but the referee has got it out of his pocket 3 times. Just seeing a couple of the injured Palmeiras players watching on, hoping their side can pick up 3 points and continue their fine start to the league season. Arthur Gabriel on the left hand side, being a lot more involved as a left back in the second half than he was in the first. Rarely mentioned his name, I have to say. Gomez to Murillo, not a great pass. He has to chase it, hunt it down, and play it forwards to Prado. Lovely first touch. Brings it down. This is nice from Palmeiras, trying to play out from the back. Into the feet of Evangelista. Now out to the right hand side. Here come Palmeiras. Guy, he's got an overlapping run to his right hand side as he bundles down from behind. Referee says no. And now Cruzeiro. Palmeiras have committed bodies forward. Now the visitors might be able to strike on a swift counter attack. On the left hand side, balls will be switched from left to right. Lovely ball. Arroyo in the penalty area. He's going to cut inside. It's where he wants to go. Gets it all wrong. Wants to go for a curling effort. He gets that one terribly wrong. Knows the young winger. From left to right though, that's a beautiful pass. As I say, gets it all wrong. Looks for the curler and looks to wrap his left boot around it instead. He almost, instead of getting the inside of his left boot, he gets his toe, if you will, as he just spoons up in the air. Actually back Palmeiras, they're not happy that they didn't get a free kick on the edge of the area for a foul by Christian on Guy. I thought that we've seen them given, so I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think it is a foul, but we said he just put his body in the way. Christian couldn't go anywhere. Guy is still down, so you're not missing any action as the game will just come to a short pause, approaching the 70th minute mark at the Allianz Parque. Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. Goals in the first half, 1 from Arroyo and 1 from Anderson, means it's 1 apiece. Both strikes from outside the area. Both of their goals totaling a 0.04 XG together. Looks like Cruzeiro ready at least 2 changes. It might even be a triple change in just a moment. As I said, the Palmeiras full-back Agustin Guy is still down, so not missing anything at the moment. So when Cruzeiro make these changes, my hope is that the broadcasters do give me a hand of what numbers have gone off, what numbers have come on. Usually the cutaway whenever a substitution's being made. They make it quite awkward for a commentator. Will be a Palmeiras goal kick. They might not be making the changes just yet. We'll see. There were players on the sideline ready to come on. They're just not ready to. So Palmeiras have a goal kick and we are back underway. Less than 20 to go in this game. Can either side find a winner? Last time these sides met, it was a goalless draw in late October. The two clashes last year, Cruzeiro drew 0-0 and beat Palmeiras at 2-1. Last time Palmeiras won at home was a 2-0 win in the summer of 2024. They are very well matched, it has to be said. In the past 30 games, Palmeiras have won 9, Cruzeiro have won 10, and 11 have been draws. So they're all very close between these two successful Brazilian league sides. Jose Lopez has it on the left hand side. Rayo goes down. The referee's going to give it as a free kick. I'm not too sure if Rayo was caught. Watching it back, he gets a right arm goes out, and he gets maybe again a bit of a, no, I can't even say a whack, and Lopez is going to get a yellow card for it. I don't think it deserves a yellow card at all. I think that is mightily unlucky, because first of all I think Kenny Arroyo, for as great as he's been this evening, I think that's poor from him, because this outstretched right arm from Lopez trying to move him away, and he catches him. He barely breezes his face, if you will, and it's a yellow card. Arroyo goes down as if he's been hit by a left hook by Francis Ngannou. I do think that should be better, if I'm being bluntly honest, from Arroyo, trying to con the referee there. How he goes down, it looks like it's a yellow card. So we're saying a few minutes ago Palmeiras haven't got a player in the book. Well, they do now with the forward Jose Lopez. We'll say as well something that I'm sure the managers who are up in the coach, Arte Jorge, quite clearly didn't want to change at half time. He's absolutely still soaked in his outfit he's shown this evening. The rain is, I think, lightly coming down. It's definitely not belting it down as it was earlier on the Allianz Praku. So perhaps as well the pitch has already taken a bit of a beating, as I said earlier, so that might be the difference of now it stops. Maybe play can just calm down a little bit, I'm not too sure. Cruzeiro have it on the left hand side, too much on it for Kaiki. And a play for a throw-in for Palmeiras. Guy was receiving medical attention. He's now back on the field of play. It looks like he's good to continue. He'll be the man to take the throw-in for the hosts. Cruzeiro playing out from the back. That's a poor pass picked up by Andres Pereira. Strike comes in on the swivel on the turn, and it goes wide on Pereira's weaker left boot. He won the ball, played a 1-2 with John Arias. Just poured out from the back. And Pereira, don't blame him for going for the strike, because it opened up, but it was always rising on his weaker left. You could feel that maybe even his teammates going, oh, on your right boot, we're happy with that. Just keep it down, keep it low, try and drive it into the surface. And the goal kick comes away over Cruzeiro. It's just a short pause in play. The referee was having a word with VAR, I do believe. So Cruzeiro have the goal kick, and the referee will give a yellow card to Otavio, the Cruzeiro goalie. More time wasting. I think it's quite early on to be time wasting from the goalkeeper's point of view. We're just about to hit the 75th minute. 75 minutes on the clock, I should say. We're in the 75th minute. Ball played forward by Fagner. Side of play for a throw-in though. Comes off the back of the full back. So Arroyo's going to be coming off the field of play. The man has been a massive difference maker in this one. Cruzeiro's only goal scorer. It'll be him coming off the field of play. And in his place will be Kenji, the 20-year-old Brazilian. does look to be just a straight like-for-like swap. So that's only one change. I thought they were going to make a few changes, it has to be said. It'll be a like-for-like replacement on that right-hand side. Christian on the left-hand side for Cruzeiro. Romero. Again, will fatigue be a problem with Cruzeiro? Of the amount of minutes that are in the legs of both these, of the players in the white this evening. Poor touch there from Mateus Pereira, out of play for a throw-in for Palmeiras. Well, there is another change coming up. It will be a triple change as well for Palmeiras, so they're going to take advantage of what they can. Andreas Pereira will be the first man to leave the field of play. As well as GI, it looks to be maybe Arthur Gabriel as well. Was one of the players coming off. It was Paulinho, Hefty and Calavan who were on in their place. So full confirmation of those substitutions, just the broadcast is giving me a hard time, as per usual, with any substitutions, especially a triple-headed one. Off goes Guy, Pereira and Gabriel. Hefty on at left-back, Paulinho on in attack, and Kelvin on right back. So a swap of full-backs as well, that's maybe something to point out there. First few touches for Paulinho, back to Evangelista. So all 5 changes have been made by Palmeiras. Cruzeiro have only made 1. Trying to maybe keep that intensity up, bringing 3 fresh legs on at this time could be a bonus as well for Palmeiras. Hefty getting his first few touches brought down there, but the referee's going to play advantage as Palmeiras still do have the ball. Left hand side to Kelvin. Put forward into Arias. Left side to Hefty, ball in behind his winger. Wagner does well to keep hold of the ball. Great tackle. I thought he was going to keep it in play there. He doesn't, he just trickles out too much on it. And Palmeiras hit the ball back with Prado. To his skipper Gomez. Arias. Back to Gomez. Just over 10 minutes left of the 90, then whatever stoppage time will be given. 1-2, Kelvin trying to get there. Will he? Yes, he will, but he brings his man down in the process, unfortunately. It will be a free kick for Cruzeiro just inside, near enough their own corner flag quadrant. They're just a bit too keen. Kaiki just knew exactly what he was doing, get his body in the way of his opposite fullback. Wins a free kick, and Cruzeiro back in possession. If they were going to make a change there, the referee having a look over at the dugouts. So Cruzeiro still got 4 changes to make, with 2 blocks to make it as well. Lovely ball to left hand side to Mateus Pereira. Fizzes one into the box, leaves it, does Jorge. There's no one there to follow up on that one, so booted away, out of play. This might be a long throwing opportunity here for Cruzeiro. swung into the box, headed away. Hefty might be able to bring this one out. Few touches. Last off of him out for a throw-in. Right hand side. Yes. Back heels it for Kenji. A touch from Fagner, but still keeping possession of Cruzeiro. Again, I do just think they are looking a little bit fatigued for me at the moment. The visitors, I don't blame them with the lack of changes that have been made from the last game and the changes in the game so far. Only one. I'm surprised that a couple haven't been made. I know, for example, the likes of Lucas Romero and Gerson are so important to Arthur Jorge, but it's a big game against Palmeiras. I won't want to come off, but sometimes those fresh legs can be vital and can be a difference maker. Maybe more in the attacking outlet, I'm not too sure. Romero out to Kaiki, float swung to the edge of the area. FD is there and he just chests it back to his goalkeeper Carlos Miguel. And possession is back with the hosts. There's a pause in play once again, I do believe, as the referee once again having a few issues with his technical, with his earpiece. He already had issues when Gustavo Gomez was being seen to for his finger injury. I'm not too sure as well, if I'm being honest, that there's a possibility. Look, it's been raining that much. Has that had an issue with the referees' equipment? I'm not too sure. Looks like he's getting a new one, so if there's a pause in play, so if you are joining, warm welcome. You're not missing anything for the moment, as we just had a pause. 83 minutes on the clock. The referee, Savio Pereira Sampao, having a bit of technical issues himself. It is Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1, just over 6 minutes left of the 90. And whatever stoppage time we are bound for. Should be in for an interesting ending, I do hope. Again, warm welcome if you're joining. English audio commentary coverage of this Brazilian Serie A clash on a Saturday evening. Lucas Romero into Gersons. They've been a great double pivot so far. Switches it out to the left-hand side to Kaiki. He's getting a little bit further forward in this half. Still has it. Has to go all the way back to his centre-back in Bruno. Out to Fagner on the left-hand side. Into Kenji. Romero had made a nice run there, but the winger couldn't find him. Out to Jesus. Gersons floats one forward for Kenji. He's going to get there, back to Gersons. There's Pereira. Well tackled in the middle from Prado, but getting there to switch the play out to the left-hand side. Here's Fagner. Poor ball into the box. Prado comes away with it. Cruzeiro create a lot of bodies forward. That's a poor pass from Palmeiras. Kaiki driving forward. Edge of the area. Strike comes in. It's just a whisker wide. Great play there. Jesus read it so well to get in front of his player there. He had to get that right, because if he got that wrong, well, Jesus' strike there, just right at the back. It was on his weaker right peg as well. He does just get over it and drag it. But if he got that wrong, Jose Lopez picks up the ball and he's driving into an almost empty Cruzeiro half, it has to be said. He's the man on the ball now. Here come Palmeiras. Can they find a winner? Will we find a winner in this game? Ball forward to Paulinho. He's really been involved since coming on. Back to Lopez. Puts it back across the face of goal. He'll fall for Arias. Blocked away. And Wagner clears it even further. Swift counter by Palmeiras. He will keep the attack up. Freitas. Paulinho. Back to Prada. Back to Paulinho. Lovely overlapping run on the right hand side. Ball across the face of goal. Cleared away, and it falls awkwardly for the substitute Kelvin. And he puts it wide of the target. It's unfortunate as well. Lovely play by Palmeiras. Watching this one back, they were putting some good balls into the box there. Arias, it was a good strike at goal. Blocked at the first opportunity by Jonathan Jesus. Looks like the goalkeeper would have dealt with it though. Fans in the arena, they're not happy. There's a goal kick for Cruzeiro. Long ball to the left-hand side. Dealt with easily at the back by Murillo. Plays it forward to Arias. Gerson picks it up in the middle. It's for a 1-2. Doesn't get it back, but he still made a forward run. Ball switched out to the right to Fagner. Matheus Pereira 1-2 with his full back. Kenji's reaching to get there. He doesn't. It's well played by Hefty. Matheus Pereira takes a bit of a tumble. Palmeiras, though, it's not a foul, and they'll continue to swiftly drive forward. Ball from left to right. Trying to get on the end of it is Lopez, driving into the penalty area. He wants to get it back on his left boot. He tries to cut inside, goes for a curling effort. Never wraps his left boot around it. And another goal kick for Cruzeiro. Lopez, he's ran his socks off this evening, it has to be said. Playing as the most forward player, the striker. He's also operated off the right as well quite a bit. Trying to offer a bit of weight for maybe just as that inside forward to get in behind. Cruzeiro there, not messing around. Here they come down the left-hand side. Kaiki. So Romero centrally. Matheus Pereira's used instead. Pokes a reverse pass. And it's too much on it. And a goal kick for Palmeiras to come up from Carlos and Miguel. Just about 3 minutes left of the 90. One apiece. Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. Would be the worst result in the world for Palmeiras, but with Flamengo have 2 games in hand over the leaders. If they do their job, they could also go top of the table, so maybe you'd have to say they'll be thinking points have been dropped here. Palmeiras down the right hand side. Luke Kellerman takes it past his man, continues to drive forward. Great tackle from Christian there, and it's just almost poked away. Kellerman, will he keep the ball in play? Yes, he will. There's a Cruzeiro player down. Palmeiras swing a ball into the box just over the head of Lopez. Wagner will clear it away. Been kept alive and taken down there as Jorge by Murillo. Taking a bit of a tumble as the forward there. Lovely play here by Kellerman down the right side. Christian was stretching to get it, and then he looks like he might have maybe pulled something, I'm not quite sure. Ball into the box, wasn't a terrible one, just over the head of Jose Lopez there. And Murillo brings his man down. It's not cynical, he's going for the ball, so he just brings him down to stop a counter. But we are a pause in play due to that, so I think we might get a good amount of stoppage time, I do have to say, in this game. The yellow card has come out for Murillo, I do believe. Well, the referee definitely has given one. Looks like Cruzeiro are about to make a change. Just waiting for full confirmation of who might be coming on. Might even be a double change, I'm not 100% certain. Looks to be that it might be Luis Sinisterra, the on loan Bournemouth forward, former Leeds United and Feyenoord. Looks like he's coming on, as well as Lucas Silva. So Matheus Pereira is going to be coming off, and Sinisterra will be on for him. And Lucas Silva will be making his way onto the field of play. Just waiting for full confirmation of who it will be for him. It will be Christian off and Lucas Silva on. So Christian and yellow card Matheus Pereira are off. Luis Sinisterra and Lucas Silva are on in their places. Still, if they want to, they've got a substitution up their sleeve as well, do Cruzeiro. Pereira taking the longest way around to leave the field of play. And now he is off, and Lucas Silva is on. We're just about to hit the 90th minute in the game. So it's went to how much at a time. I think we could be in for a decent amount of it, if I'm being honest. A decent amount of stoppages in the second half. We haven't had any goals. We had a few injuries, though, of course, substitutions as well. They're never really going to help in terms of taking time off the clock. So we're into the 91st minute. We're past 90 minutes. Haven't been given official information of what the stoppage time is. Can we find a winner? Wagner with a throw in into Sinisterra. He'll bring a lot of pace on, of course. The on-loan Bournemouth man. Gerson finds it into Sinisterra. all bundled on the right hand side at the moment. Ball out to Kaiki on the left hand side. Heavy touch, and Kelvin is on him like a rash. And it comes over the ball back to Lucas Romero, into the feet of Lucas Silva. Switches it to Bruno. Right hand side Kenji. It's going to be a 1-2. Gerson will poke it back, but Hefty, the fresh legs of the left back, get there first. Booted away and out for a throw-in. Big point, I'd say, for Cruzeiro on the road to the top of the table. I don't think it's terrible to be dropping points, but maybe Flamengo, they'll be licking their lips and be thinking Cruzeiro have done us a favour. Lucas Silva swings one into the box, headed away, falls on the edge here for Kanki, straight at the goalkeeper, and he clears it away. Good punch as well. Nodded forward for Jose Lopez. He's forced to relinquish that as it was a 2v1. Jesus and Bruno did well to outdo him. And it's been a very isolated evening for the forward. Lucas Romero poked away and off of Arias. He's going to come forward. That's going to be a yellow card there. Very, very cynical, it has to be said, from Lucas Silva. So he's not been on the field that long, and he's picked up a yellow card. I see why he did it. Arias was not away, but it's definitely a swift counter coming up. Palmeiras are now there, the ones on the ball. We've had 2 minutes of stoppage time. Again, apologies, no official word on the full amount of time we've got for stoppage. Right hand side, Kelvin. He's been lively at right back since coming on. Jesus picks it up, pokes it away, looks for the left hand side. Kenji to Fagner on the right. Kenji turns away from his man. Good interception from Hefty. Here come Palmeiras. Paulino takes it past his man, drives into the penalty box, back sticks just over the head of Arias. Maybe kept in play. Oh no, the can't from Palmeiras, as here come Cruzeiro quickly down the left hand side, driving forward. Slow it down though, go back to Lucas Silva and into Lucas Romero. Back to Jonathan Jesus, and both these teams look very fatigued. Full confirmation. We've just played over 3 minutes of stoppage time, 7 minutes as a total. So we're nearly there. Can either side find a winner? Or are we in for a draw between these two sides? I think a winner, not saying it'd be unfair, but I do think if either team were to grab a late winner, it wouldn't be a deserved win for either side. The best chance in this second half and the best chances in the game was a one-on-one. There was also an acrobatic effort from Gustavo Gomez just after the hour mark. Apart from that, no real goal, no real clear-cut goal line chances, if you will. Kenji on the right, well, that's a heavy touch from Romero, poke forward to Paulino. Can he get away from his man? He tries to, and he's just taken down there, and balls clear, booted away by Lucas Silva. He's got to be careful, you know, he's only just gone yellow card as well. Surprised the referee didn't look at that and say, right, you booted that ball away, yellow card for you. Referee Sampaio just says continue with the game. Evangelista will be the man to take it. Back to Murillo. Here comes Freitas to create something. Paulino been lively, he has also. I think a lot of the changes have worked really well in the second half. Hefty, Kelvin and Paulino. Ball over the top looking for one of the full-backs, Kelvin. Falls for Freitas on the right hand side, very wide, takes it down the byline, ball into the box, into the back sticks, and away by Fagner, out for a corner kick. Big opportunity here from a set piece for Palmeiras to maybe get a late goal. Taken quickly, ball swung into the box, heads go up, it's going to go off target. There's a Palmeiras head who got there as well. Looks like it was Gustavo Gomez. Skipper leapt well but headed wide. And it's a Cruzeiro corner with about 90 seconds give or take left. But this second half, it's Palmeiras 1, Cruzeiro 1. So here we pound for a 1-1 draw. A goal in the 11th minute from Arroyo, Lovely curling left-footed effort. Give Cruzeiro the lead, and Felipe Anderson with a bullet of a right-booted effort made it 1 apiece. Since then, that's how it stayed, and at the moment, looking like that's how it's going to stay. We're into the 97th minute, 96 minutes on the clock. Only the last minute of play here. Nice pass on. Here come Cruzeiro into the feet of Romero, out to the left-hand side to Sinisterra. Can he create something? Goes inside on his right boot, blocked away, but blocked only out for a corner. You can see those fresh legs keeping up with him there. So it will be a corner. Palmeiras had one just a few moments ago, defended well by Cruzeiro. Now it's the other way around. Cruzeiro have one, and this has got to be defended well by Palmeiras. Lucas Silva, now with the armband on, will go over to the far side to whip this corner in. Can the visitors, and coming into this game, the underdogs, grab a late winner? Will be an in-swinger from Silva into a decent area just over the head of Bruno. Was that a play for a goal kick, and Palmeiras want to quickly get underway with it. We've just hit the 7th minute mark of stoppage time, so all eyes really on the referee. Ball forward for Lopez. He nods it down. It's going to be a free kick though, but will the referee let the game play on before that? No, he doesn't. That is full time from the Allianz Parque. A feisty affair. It was a brutal weather conditions with the rain pouring down all evening long. Perhaps that played a real key part of this game. Box to box, there was some fantastic quality. Never really got going in the final third with crosses and passes into it. It was 2 wonder goals to give us the goals on the evening. Cruzeiro through Kenny Arroyo, the young winger, beautiful curling left-footed effort, found the corner. Whereas less than 10 minutes later, Felipe Anderson, the former Hammers and Lazio winger, after a corner was cleared away, fell nicely for him. Hit it right on his laces. It was a bullet of an effort. Found the bottom corner to make it 1 apiece, and that is exactly how it stayed, and that is how it will end. Flamengo 2 games behind Palmeiras. They've got 2 games on them. Now they're only 5 points behind. Cruzeiro doing a favour at the top of the table. Of course, Flamengo have to win both those games. I'm sure the top of the table, Palmeiras, will think maybe that's a couple of points dropped. Keeps their unbeaten run to 17 games, 11 wins and 6 draws now. No losses in 4 for Cruzeiro. 2 teams in form met this evening, and it's full time from a rainy Allianz Prague as Palmeiras finish 1 apiece with Cruzeiro.